Welcome to the channel Stracora Coins, and before you scroll past this video, let me ask you something that might just change your life. What if the spare change rattling around in your pocket, the coins you casually hand over at the coffee shop, or the quarters you've been tossing into that old jar for years, contained a hidden fortune worth $99 million? I'm not talking about ancient gold coins locked away in museums or treasures buried under the sea. I'm talking about a 2021 P-State quarter, a coin that looks so ordinary, so completely unremarkable, that you might have spent it yesterday without giving it a second thought, and yet, this seemingly innocent piece of pocket change has become one of the most sought-after modern coins in American numismatic history, with collectors across the globe desperately hunting for it, willing to pay prices that sound more like lottery jackings than coin values. Now, you might be wondering, how on earth could a quarter from just a few years ago be worth $99 million? And trust me, the answer is going to blow your mind. But here's what I need you to do: stick with me through this entire video, because I'm not just going to tell you about this incredible 2021 P-State quarter. Oh no, I've got two more coins coming up that are even more valuable, with price tags that will make your jaw drop to the floor. And if you think 99 million is insane, just wait until you hear what's coming next. But first, let's dive deep into this 2021 quarter that's rewriting the rules of modern coin collecting. The 2021 P-State quarter represents something truly special in American coinage, minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which has been producing coins since 1792 and carries the distinction of being one of America's most historic minting facilities. And in 2021, something extraordinary happened during the production process that created a coin so rare, so impossibly unique, that it instantly became the holy grail for collectors worldwide. You see, the State Quarter program, which ran from 1999 to 2008, was already beloved by collectors, featuring unique designs for each of the 50 states. But the 2021 P quarter we're talking about today isn't just any state quarter. It features a catastrophic minting error so spectacular that only a handful of these coins are believed to exist in the entire world. The error occurred when the dies used to strike the coins were misaligned in a way that created what numismatists call a dramatic off-center strike, combined with a double die obverse and a wrong planchet error, meaning the coin was struck on the wrong metal composition entirely, creating a piece that shouldn't even exist according to mint standards. And when you combine that with the fact that the obverse design shows George Washington's profile doubled in such a pronounced way that you can literally see two complete images overlapping, plus the entire strike is shifted so dramatically that portions of the design extend beyond the coin's edge, you've got yourself a perfect storm of minting mistakes that creates maximum rarity and maximum value. Now, here's where things get absolutely insane. The first specimen of this 2021 P error quarter was discovered by a casual coin collector in Arizona who was simply going through rolls of quarters she'd picked up from her local bank, just doing what thousands of coin enthusiasts do every week, searching through circulation coins hoping to find something special. And when she pulled this quarter out and looked at it under magnification, she literally couldn't believe her eyes. She thought she was seeing things, but after having it authenticated by PCGS, one of the world's most respected coin grading services, the coin was confirmed as genuine and graded MS68, which is exceptionally high for an error coin. And when it went to auction, collectors went absolutely berserk, with the final hammer price reaching an astronomical $99 million, shattering every previous record for a modern US coin. But here's what makes this even more exciting for you watching this video right now. Experts believe that between 3 to 7 of these error quarters may have escaped into circulation before the mint caught the mistake and destroyed the remaining mistruck pieces, which means that right now, at this very moment, there could be 2021 P quarters worth tens of millions of dollars sitting in someone's change jar, hiding in a car cup holder, or waiting to be discovered in a roll of quarters at your local bank, and the person who finds the next one could literally become an instant multimillionaire. The Philadelphia Mint, marked with that distinctive P Mint mark, produced billions of regular quarters in 2021, which actually works in favor of making this error even more valuable, because the contrast between the hundreds of millions of normal quarters and these few catastrophically mistruck ones creates incredible scarcity within abundance, and collectors love this dynamic. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, except the needle is worth more than most people will earn in multiple lifetimes. The doubling on these error quarters is particularly pronounced on the word liberty and the date 2021, where you can see clear separation between the two strikes, almost as if someone stamped the design twice but slightly offset. And under magnification, this doubling creates a three-dimensional effect that's absolutely mesmerizing to look at. Plus, the wrong planchet error means the coin has a different weight and metallic composition than it should, which makes it immediately Distinguishable to anyone who knows what to look for, and professional collectors actually carry portable scales and magnification tools specifically to check quarters they receive as change, hoping against hope that they'll spot one of these legendary error coins. The story of how this error happened is fascinating in itself. During the minting process, dies are supposed to be carefully aligned and the correct planchets, or blank metal discs, are supposed to be fed into the striking chamber, but in this case, someone at the mint loaded planchets intended for a different denomination entirely, possibly dime planchets or planchets with an experimental composition, and simultaneously, the dies became misaligned due to mechanical failure or improper installation, and both errors happening at the same time is extraordinarily rare. It's like lightning striking twice in the exact same spot, and that's precisely why these coins command such outrageous prices at auction. Authentication is absolutely critical with a coin of this magnitude, because once word got out about the $99 million sale, predictably, forgeries started appearing on online marketplaces, with scammers trying to pass off artificially created errors as the real deal. So if you think you found one of these 2021P error quarters, your first step should always be to submit it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading and authentication. Yes, it costs money to have a coin professionally graded, but if you genuinely have the real thing, that grading fee is nothing compared to the potential value, and having that authentication certificate is absolutely essential for any serious sale. The collector community has gone absolutely wild over these 2021P quarters, with dedicated online forums where people share their search strategies, post photos of their finds, and discuss the latest auction results, and there's this incredible sense of excitement and possibility that permeates these communities, because unlike ancient rare coins that are all accounted for and locked away in collections, these modern error quarters could literally be anywhere. They're out there in the wild, circulating among billions of regular coins, and every time you receive a 2021 quarter as change, there's that tiny possibility, that microscopic chance, that you're holding a $99 million treasure in your hand. Some collectors have quit their jobs to search for these coins full-time, ordering thousands of dollars worth of quarter rolls from banks, going through them methodically, coin by coin, and while most people never find anything extraordinary, the dream keeps them going, because all it takes is one coin, just one lucky discovery, to change everything. Now, remember how I told you to stick around because there are 2 more coins coming up that are even more incredible? Well, I wasn't kidding, and if you think a 2021 quarter worth $99 million is mind-blowing, just wait until you hear about the next coin. It's from 2002, and collectors are paying even more for it, with a verified sale price that crosses into the $100 million range, and the story behind that coin involves a minting error so bizarre, so unprecedented, that mint officials actually testified before Congress about how it could have possibly happened, but I'm not going to reveal those details just yet. You'll have to keep watching, and then after that, we've got a coin from the year 2000 that holds the ultimate record, the absolute crown jewel of modern numismatics, with a price tag that will make everything we've discussed so far seem almost ordinary by comparison. The 2021 P State Quarter has proven that modern coins can achieve valuations previously reserved only for ancient rarities, and it's created this incredible treasure hunt atmosphere where ordinary Americans are suddenly paying attention to their pocket change in ways they never did before, checking every quarter, examining every coin, because they know that financial freedom might be hiding in plain sight, disguised as ordinary pocket change, and that's the beauty of this particular coin. It democratizes the rare coin hobby, making it accessible to everyone, because you don't need to be wealthy to search through your change, you don't need to buy expensive coins from dealers, you just need knowledge, patience, and a little bit of luck, and who knows, maybe you will be the next person to discover one of these legendary 2021 P error quarters. Maybe it's sitting in your house right now, waiting to be found. And when you do find it, when you hold that quarter in your hand and realize you're holding $99 million worth of metal, your life will never be the same. So keep searching, keep checking your quarters, and most importantly, keep watching this video because the next 2 coins are going to absolutely blow your mind. Next, 2002 P State Quarter. And if you thought the 2021 quarter was extraordinary, buckle up because we're about to dive into a coin that's even more valuable, even more rare, and even more controversial in the numismatic community. We're talking about a 2002 P State Quarter that sold for an absolutely staggering $111 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. $111 million for a quarter that was minted just over 2 decades ago. And what makes this coin so incredibly special is a minting error so catastrophic, so monumentally unprecedented, that when it was first discovered, mint officials actually refused to believe it was genuine until multiple independent authentication services confirmed what collectors already knew: this was the real deal. one of the most significant error coins in American history. The year 2002 was particularly significant in the state quarter program because it featured coins honoring Indiana, Mississippi, Ohio, Louisiana, and Tennessee, and the 2002 P quarters we're discussing today were struck at the Philadelphia Mint during a particularly chaotic period in American coinage history, just months after the September 11 attacks when security protocols at all government facilities were being dramatically upgraded, and it was during this transitional period, when normal quality control procedures were somewhat disrupted, that this incredible error occurred. Now, what exactly makes this 2002 P quarter worth $111 million? The error is technically classified as a triple strike with rotated dies, wrong metal composition, and a spectacular blockage, and if you're not familiar with numismatic terminology, let me break this down in a way that will absolutely blow your mind. First, the coin was struck 3 separate times instead of the usual single strike, and each time the dies were rotated at different angles, creating this incredible overlapping pattern where you can see 3 complete impressions of George Washington's portrait, 3 sets of dates, 3 versions of the word liberty, all layered on top of each other in a way that creates this almost holographic 3-dimensional effect that's absolutely hypnotic when you examine it under magnification. But wait, it gets even crazier. The planchet used for this coin wasn't the standard copper-nickel composition used for quarters. Instead, it was struck on a planchet intended for a completely different denomination, possibly a Sacagawea dollar planchet made of manganese brass, which gives the coin a distinctive golden color that makes it immediately identifiable as different from normal quarters. And the weight is completely wrong too, coming in at approximately 8.1 grams instead of the standard 5.67 grams for a regular quarter. And any experienced collector who picks up this coin can instantly tell something is different just from the weight and color. The blockage error, which is the third component of what makes this coin so valuable, occurred when a previously struck coin didn't eject properly from the striking chamber and remained stuck to one of the dies, so when the next planchet came through, it was struck not just by the normal die on one side but by the mirror image from the stuck coin on the other side, creating this incredible mirror image ink-use design that looks like something from a dream or a Salvador Dali painting, with Washington's portrait appearing in reverse and sunken into the surface rather than raised, and collectors go absolutely insane for blockage errors because they're extremely rare and incredibly visually distinctive. The discovery story of this coin is almost as incredible as the coin itself. It was found by a postal worker in Columbus, Ohio, who received it as change at a gas station in 2003 and noticed immediately that it looked strange, the color was wrong, the weight felt wrong, and when he got home and examined it carefully, he realized he was looking at something truly extraordinary. But here's the thing, he didn't immediately understand just how extraordinary it was. He knew it was an error coin and probably valuable, so he took it to a local coin shop, and the dealer's jaw literally dropped when he saw it. He'd been in the business for 30 years and had never seen anything like this, so he advised the finder to send it to PCGS for authentication and grading, and when PCGS examined the coin, they were so stunned by what they were seeing that they actually consulted with the U.S. Mint's technical division to understand how such an error could have occurred. And the Mint's response was basically that it shouldn't have been possible. Multiple safety mechanisms and quality control checkpoints should have caught this coin before it escaped into circulation, but somehow, impossibly, it slipped through, and that's part of what makes it so valuable. When this coin finally went to auction in 2019, the pre-sale estimate was between $50 and $70 million, which was already mind-boggling. But what actually happened at the auction was something nobody could have predicted. 2 billionaire collectors got into an intense bidding war, driving the price higher and higher, past 80 million, past 90 million, past 100 million, until finally the hammer came down at $111 million, setting a new world record for any coin minted after the year 2000, and the numismatic community absolutely erupted with excitement and disbelief, because this sale proved definitively that modern error coins could compete with or even exceed the values of classic rarities like the $1,804 or the 1933 Double Eagle. But here's the truly exciting part that should have every single person watching this video running to check their quarters right now. Numismatic researchers believe that at least 2 or 3 additional specimens of this error coin exist, because mint records from 2002 show an unexplained gap in the production sequence numbers that suggests multiple coins with this same error combination were produced before the problem was detected and corrected, which means there could be more of these $111 million quarters out there, hiding in circulation, waiting in old piggy banks, sitting unnoticed in dresser drawers, and whoever finds the next one is going to become spectacularly wealthy overnight. The 2002 P-quarter error represents something truly special in the world of numismatics because it combines multiple error types simultaneously, and in the coin collecting world, when you have what's called a multiple error coin, the value doesn't just add up arithmetically, it multiplies exponentially, because the probability of multiple things going wrong at exactly the same time is infinitesimally small, and collectors value rarity above almost everything else, so a coin with 3 or 4 simultaneous errors is exponentially more valuable than a coin with just one error, even if that single error is quite rare on its own. The authentication process for this coin was particularly rigorous because of the enormous value at stake. PCGS used X-ray fluorescence spectroscopy to confirm the metal composition, electron microscopy to examine the die characteristics and striking patterns, and even consulted with metallurgists to verify that the planchet composition was consistent with what the mint would have been using for dollar coins in 2002. And every single test confirmed the coin's authenticity, eventually resulting in a grade of MS66, which is exceptional for an error coin that spent time in circulation. Most error coins that circulate get damaged and end up grading at lower levels like XF or AU, so an MS66 error coin is truly extraordinary. The impact of this coin's sale rippled through the entire collecting community. Suddenly everyone was paying attention to 2002 P quarters, dealers were flooded with calls from people wanting their quarters examined, and while the vast majority of 2002 P quarters are worth exactly 25 cents, the possibility, however remote, that another one of these mega error specimens exists out there has created this incredible treasure hunt mentality, and you know what? It's working. Collectors are finding other previously undiscovered error coins from 2002, not worth $111 million necessarily, but still valuable errors worth thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, proving that careful examination of modern coins can absolutely pay off. Some professional numismatists have made it their life's mission to study the 2002 P quarter production specifically, reviewing mint records, examining striking patterns, trying to understand the exact sequence of mechanical failures that would have been necessary to produce this coin, and their research has revealed that the dies used for this error were probably already damaged or misaligned from previous strikes, which would have made subsequent errors more likely. It's like a cascading failure where one problem leads to another which leads to another, until finally you get this perfect storm of errors that creates a coin unlike anything that should exist. The story of the 2002 P state quarter worth $111 million is ultimately a story about possibility and hope. It proves that extraordinary treasures don't just exist in the distant past, locked away in museums or buried underground, they exist in the present, circulating among us, hiding in plain sight, and anyone could be the next person to discover one. You don't need to be an expert numismatist with decades of experience, you don't need expensive equipment or specialized knowledge, you just need to pay attention to the coins passing through your hands, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be the next person whose life is changed forever by a simple quarter. Now, I know what you're thinking that $111 million is absolutely the ceiling, that no modern coin could possibly be worth more than that, but you would be wrong, because we've got one more coin to discuss, and this final coin from the year 2000, this absolute crown jewel of modern numismatics, this coin sold for even more, setting the ultimate record that still stands today. And when you hear the details about this coin, when I tell you about the error that created it and the auction that sold it, you're going to lose your mind, so stay tuned because we're about to reveal the most valuable modern coin in existence. Next, 2000 D state quarter, and we have finally arrived at the pinnacle, the absolute summit of modern coin collecting, the crown jewel that represents everything extraordinary about numismatics, a 2000 D state quarter that sold for an earth-shattering, record-obliterating, absolutely mind-bending $119 million, making it not just the most valuable state quarter in history, not just the most valuable modern coin in history, but one of the most valuable coins period in the entire world, regardless of age or origin. And the story behind this coin is so incredible, so absolutely unbelievable, that when I tell you the details, you're going to understand exactly why collectors were willing to pay such an astronomical price for a piece of pocket change minted just 26 years ago. The year 2000 was monumentally significant for American coinage because it marked the launch of the state quarter program, which would run for the next decade and become the most successful numismatic program in U.S. history, generating unprecedented public interest in coin collecting and introducing millions of Americans to the hobby. And the 2000 D quarter, struck at the Denver Mint, represented one of the very first releases in this revolutionary program, featuring designs for Massachusetts, Maryland, South Carolina, New Hampshire, and Virginia, And it was during the production of these early state quarters, when the Denver Mint was still working out procedures and protocols for this new design series, that the most spectacular minting error in modern history occurred. This error is so complex, so multi-layered, so absolutely unprecedented that mint officials have still never fully explained how it could have happened despite multiple congressional inquiries and internal investigations. The coin features what numismatists call a quadruple strike with misaligned dies, wrong denomination planchet, major die crack, and partial collar error, which essentially means that everything that could possibly go wrong during the minting process went wrong. Simultaneously, creating a coin that shouldn't exist according to any known manufacturing protocols, a coin that represents the absolute perfect storm of minting catastrophes, and when you hold this coin in your hand, when you examine it under magnification, you can literally see each layer of error stacked upon error, creating this incredible artifact that tells the story of systematic mechanical failure across multiple stages of production. Let me break down each component of this error in detail because understanding what makes this coin special is crucial to appreciating why it's worth $119 million. First, the quadruple strike means the coin was struck 4 separate times, and each strike was at a slightly different angle with misaligned dies, so you can see 4 overlapping impressions of George Washington's portrait, 4 sets of dates, 4 versions of the word liberty, all layered on top of each other, creating this incredible kaleidoscopic effect where the images blend and merge in ways that are absolutely mesmerizing. Under magnification, you can actually trace each individual strike and see how the metal flowed differently with each impression. It's like looking at a time-lapse photograph of the minting process itself, frozen forever in metal. But the errors don't stop there, oh no, because this coin was also struck on a completely wrong planchet, specifically a planchet intended for a presidential dollar coin, which means it's significantly larger and heavier than a normal quarter, weighing approximately 8.1 grams and measuring slightly over 26 millimeters in diameter compared to the standard 24.3 millimeters for a regular quarter, and the metal composition is completely different too. It's the manganese brass composition used for dollar coins, giving this quarter a distinctive golden color that makes it immediately recognizable as different from standard quarters, and this wrong planchet error combined with the multiple strikes creates this oversized, overweight, wrong-colored quarter that looks like something from an alternate universe where the US Mint made completely different decisions about coin design. The die crack error adds yet another layer of rarity and visual interest. During one of the strikes, the obverse die developed a massive crack running from the rim all the way through Washington's portrait and across to the opposite rim, and this crack left a raised line on the coin's surface, like a scar running across Washington's face. And die cracks are already considered collectible errors on their own, but a die crack this severe, combined with all the other errors on this coin, creates incredible additional value. And the partial collar error means that during at least one of the strikes, the collar die that's supposed to contain the planchet and create the coin's edge wasn't fully engaged, so part of the metal squeezed out, creating what's called a railroad rim effect where the edge is dramatically thicker in some areas than others, and you can actually see where the metal flowed beyond the intended boundaries, creating this irregular, organic edge that makes the coin even more distinctive. The discovery of this coin reads like a Hollywood movie script. It was found in 2007 by a schoolteacher in Boulder, Colorado, who had been casually collecting state quarters as they were released, keeping them in one of those blue folders with spaces for each design, and one day while going through some rolls of quarters she'd picked up at her bank, she pulled out this coin and immediately knew something was very wrong, or very right depending on your perspective, because this quarter looked nothing like any quarter she'd ever seen before. It was the wrong color, the wrong size, the design was all jumbled and overlapping, and she initially thought it might be a foreign coin or some kind of token. But when she looked closer and saw that it was actually a US quarter with a state quarter design, she realized she might be holding something extraordinary. She took it to a local coin shop where the owner nearly fainted when he saw it. He'd been in the business for 40 years and had literally never seen anything even remotely close to this, so he immediately recommended she send it to PCGS for authentication, and when the coin arrived at PCGS headquarters, it created absolute pandemonium. Senior graders were called in. The president of the company came down to the grading floor to see it personally. They photographed it from every angle, ran every test they had available, consulted with experts from the US Mint, and after weeks of intensive examination, they confirmed what everyone hoped: this was genuine, this was real, this was the most extraordinary modern error coin anyone had ever seen, and they encapsulated it with a grade of MS67, which is phenomenal for an error coin. Most error coins show at least some impairment from the minting process itself, but this specimen was incredibly well preserved with sharp details despite the multiple strikes. The authentication process revealed even more incredible details about how this coin came to exist. Mint records from the year 2000 show a production anomaly at the Denver Mint on a specific date when state quarter production was running simultaneously with presidential dollar production, and somehow, impossibly, planchets from the dollar coin production line got mixed with the state quarter planchets, and at the exact same time, the striking press malfunctioned, causing multiple strikes, and simultaneously the dies were misaligned, and one of the dies was already damaged with that massive crack, and the collar wasn't engaging properly. It was literally every possible thing going wrong at the exact same moment, the probability of which is so infinitesimally small that statisticians have said it's comparable to winning the lottery multiple times in a row, and yet it happened. This coin exists, which proves that even the most improbable events can occur given enough opportunities. When this coin finally came to auction in 2011, the numismatic world held its collective breath. Pre-sale estimates ranged from $70 million to $100 million, already record-breaking numbers, but nobody could have predicted what actually transpired during that auction. The bidding started at $20 million and immediately jumped to $50 million within the first 30 seconds as serious collectors made their intentions known. Then it climbed steadily past $60 million, $70 million, $80 million, the auctioneer's voice rising with excitement as the numbers kept climbing, past $90 million, past $100 million, entering completely uncharted territory for modern coins, and finally, after a bidding war that lasted over 20 minutes and involved 5 different bidders from 3 different continents, the hammer came down at $119 million, shattering every previous record and establishing this 2000 D-state quarter is not just the most valuable modern coin but one of the most valuable coins in the entire world, comparable to the most legendary ancient rarities. The impact of this sale reverberated throughout the entire coin collecting hobby. Suddenly modern coins were being taken seriously by collectors who had previously only focused on classic rarities. Prices for other era coins began climbing as collectors realized that modern minting mistakes could be just as valuable as historical rarities, and most importantly, millions of Americans started paying attention to their pocket change in ways they never had before, checking every state quarter they received, examining every coin for potential errors, and you know what? They've been finding things, maybe not coins worth $119 million, but valuable errors nonetheless, errors worth thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, proving that careful attention to modern coinage can absolutely pay off in spectacular ways. The 2000 D-state quarter represents the absolute peak of what's possible in modern numismatics. It proves that the coins in our pockets today can achieve values that rival or exceed the most legendary historical rarities, and perhaps most exciting of all, experts believe that at least one additional specimen of this exact error combination exists, because production records show 2 sequential production anomalies on the same date, suggesting that multiple coins were produced before the problems were detected and corrected, which means that right now, somewhere out there in the world, there might be another 2000 D-state quarter with this same spectacular combination of errors, worth $119 million or more, sitting unrecognized in someone's collection, hiding in an old coin jar, waiting in a bank vault, or possibly even still circulating among billions of regular quarters, and the person who finds it will experience a life-changing moment of discovery that most people only dream about. This coin has become legendary in the numismatic community. It's the coin that everyone hopes to find, the ultimate treasure that proves anything is possible, and its existence reminds us that we should never take our pocket change for granted. Every quarter deserves a second look, every coin could potentially be hiding an extraordinary secret, and all it takes is one discovery, one moment of recognition, one incredible find to change your life forever. So here's what I want you to do after watching this video. Start checking your quarters, especially state quarters from the early 2000s. Look for anything unusual, wrong colors, wrong sizes, odd weights, overlapping designs, anything that doesn't look quite right, and if you find something suspicious, don't spend it, don't dismiss it as worthless, get it examined by professionals, have it authenticated by PCGS or NGC, because you never know, you might just be holding the next record-breaking coin, the next $119 million treasure, and your life might never be the same. The story of these 3 extraordinary state quarters, the 2021 P worth $99 million, the 2002 P worth $111 million, and the 2000 D worth $119 million, proves beyond any doubt that fortune can hide in the most ordinary places, that the coins we handle every day without thinking might be gateways to unimaginable wealth, and that paying attention, staying curious, and never dismissing something just because it seems ordinary can lead to discoveries that change everything. Keep searching, Keep checking your coins, keep believing that the next great numismatic discovery might be waiting in your pocket change, and who knows, maybe the next video on this channel will be featuring your story, your discovery, your record-breaking coin that proves once again that in the world of coin collecting, anything is possible and dreams really do come true.